And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So the two greatest religions on earth today is Christianity and Islam. The transatlantic slave trade, what was we given? Christianity. We was born, we was forced to worship the Christian cross. When they colonized the countries in the west coast of Africa, right, they forced you to bow down and worship that Christian cross. Whether you come from the South Americans, you was forced to worship the Christian cross, to bow down and worship Caesar Borgia, which is the depiction of Jesus Christ that you see today. In London, we call ourselves British. In Germany, we call ourselves German. In America, we call ourselves African American. We call ourselves, what do they call it? Dominican, Hispanic. Why do we call ourselves different names? Why are we separated as a nation of people when the Bible calls us Israel? Read what you got.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 36. He hath found all the way of knowledge and have given it unto Jacob, his servant.
So the Lord has found out all the way of knowledge. I have given it unto who?
Jacob, his servant.
Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob or Israel are God's servants. To be a servant of the Lord, to say that you're a Christian, you have to be from the nation of Israel. So the question is, who are the Israelites according to the Holy Bible? That is the biggest lie that we have been taught to in today's society. Like I said, some of us are calling ourselves British, some of us are calling ourselves African American, Ghanaian, Jamaican, Nigerian. But who are the true biblical Israelites? Who are you inside the Holy Bible? There's 18 different nations inside the Holy Bible. Which one do you fit, black man? No, you don't know. Get Leviticus 25 verse 55 to prove that the Israelites are the servants. And then after we can go to Matthew chapter 4 verse 15. Read what you got.
The book of Leviticus chapter 25 verse 55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants.
For what? From the top?
For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt.
The children of Israel are the Lord's servants. We have to acknowledge that what? We are the Israelites according to the Holy Bible. According to what? Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. From the beginning, from when we first came up, we've been going over Deuteronomy 28, which prophesies of the history of the slave trade. The reason why we went into slavery, why? Because it was prophesied in Deuteronomy 28, when we came out Exodus, out of the land of Egypt. That is the history of the so-called black man. That is the history of the so-called native Indian man and Hispanic man. Matthew chapter 4 verse 15. Matthew chapter 4 verse 15. Read what you got.
The book of Matthew chapter 4 verse 15. The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
So the Bible says, read up from the top. Read.
The land of Zebulun.
The land of Zebulun. We were just teaching. Some people from Chile, some people from Colombia, some people from Peru. When you come forward and look at this sign. It has a 12 tribes chart. It has Judah all the way down to Naphtali. We got our bywords that have given us today, give us our names today. For example, today Zebulun will be the Guatemalans to Panama. Naphtali will be from Argentina to Chile. So read that from the top. From the land of what?
For the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
So the Bible calls the tribe of Naphtali and the tribe of Zebulun Galilee of the Gentiles. That's the Gentiles that you read about in the New Testament. It was always referring to the nation of Israel. Come forward if you have any questions. We're reading out the King James Version 1611 Holy Bible. The Gentiles that you read about in the New Testament is always referring to the nation of Israel. That's what we have to understand. Read Acts chapter 2 and verse 1. Acts chapter 2 verse 1. Acts chapter 2 verse 1, read.
The book of Acts chapter 2 verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place.
So there was a feast day called Pentecost, which you read in Leviticus 23, which is a feast day that all Jews must keep. And they were all in one accord in one place. Why? Because there was a law in the Old Testament that they all had to keep the feast of Pentecost. So in the New Testament, the law is not done away with. The disciples kept Christ's laws, and so did Christ. Read on.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues.
Sister, come forward. My sister, come forward. My sister, where do you see yourself on this sign? Quick, yeah, where do you see yourself on this sign? Come forward. Where are you from, my sister? What's your name? Auntie. My name's Tizan. Where do you see yourself on this sign? Where are you from, Auntie? Sierra Leone, yeah? So that's the west coast of Africa. Alright, so you got all these names here. That's documented inside the Bible. Okay. And then we got our true biblical names here. Let me go and use your daughter. What's your daughter's name, sister? What's your daughter's name? Malia. You teach her the Bible? No. She don't know the Bible, right? Malia. Hello. What's your name, Auntie, again? Yes. Okay, that's a bit hard. My name is Tizan. Look at this sign over here. Let me show you something. Now, in the world, right, you're a Christian, yes, sis? What does Jesus Christ look like according to the Bible?
He's white or that?
He's white, yeah. Malia, which one's Jesus? Which one's Jesus? You don't know? We're going to show you, according to the Bible, what Jesus Christ looks like. Do you understand? Because we're teaching that, yes, we are the real Jews. We are the Israelites according to the Holy Bible. Do you understand? So, why in today's world, in the Christian church, in the movies, do they depict this man as Jesus the Christ, Auntie? Why do you think so? You don't know?
I think I have to go now.
Don't run away, Auntie. You got 2 minutes. What, on the Sabbath day, what more important can you do than hear those words? What, are you going to go buy? You going to go sell? You going to go cook?
Yeah, I have to go somewhere. Thank you.
Go back to Acts chapter 2.
Yeah, got you.
Go ahead.
And there appeared unto them cloven tongues, like as of a fire, and sat upon each of them. And they were filled with the Holy Ghost, and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance. And they were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
So, the Feast of Pentecost we read in Acts 2, they dwelt Jews, read that again, they dwelt Jews what?
And they were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. My brother's that's walking past. Hey, brother with the dreadlocks, I got a question for you. Quick question for you. Brother, I got a quick question for you. Don't reject this knowledge that you've given to this day. Sister, come forward. Read that again. Jews, devout men what? Out of every nation under heaven.
And they were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
So the same way how we've been scattered from slavery, from the west coast of Africa to the west coast of the world, where you got Americas, you got Europe, you got Africa, you got Australasia, you got Asia. The same way in Acts 2, there were Jews coming to keep the Feast of Pentecost out of every nation under heaven. The same way we read in Matthew 4 verse 15, right, about the Gentiles, which means what? People from another nation. Why? Because what? They came from different traditions. They came from different places. They were speaking different languages. That's why they were called Gentiles. Read on. Go ahead.
Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language.
So, the confusion was, or the misunderstanding was that what? All these Jews that came from every nation under heaven, they were speaking, the apostles were speaking in their own language. So in today's terms, the apostles can speak in German to those that speak German. The apostles can speak in English to those that speak English. They can speak in Spanish to those that speak Spanish. Why? Because what? The Jews, they were scattered under every nation under heaven. Why were they scattered under every nation under heaven? Get that, the prophecy in Deuteronomy 28. Because that's going back to what we're teaching, this truth about slavery. Get a flyer, come forward and get a flyer. Because the truth about slavery has always been documented inside the Holy Bible. The transatlantic slave trade is Bible prophecy. The sub-Saharan slave trade is Bible prophecy. Read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64.
Go ahead.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
One of the curses after coming out of the Exodus, the land of Egypt, when the Israelites were given God's laws, is that what? Read that from the top.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
The prophecy was that if they did not keep the commandments, the Israelites will be scattered among all people. Read.
Apart from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So the two greatest religions on earth today is Christianity and Islam. The transatlantic slave trade. What was we given? Christianity. We was forced to worship the Christian cross. When they colonized the countries in the west coast of Africa, right, they forced you to bow down and worship that Christian cross. Whether you come from the South Americans, you was forced to worship the Christian cross, to bow down and worship Caesar Borgia, which is the depiction of Jesus Christ that you see today, painted by Leonardo da Vinci.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word